It's the best-selling Christmas albums of the 1950s. I'm John Beaudin. 1950, Merry Christmas by Bing Crosby. Originally released in 1945 on Decca Records, the compilation album Merry Christmas by Bing Crosby was the best-selling Christmas album for 6 consecutive years, between 45 and 50. The project included Crosby's signature White Christmas, the best-selling single of all time with an estimated sales of over 50 million copies worldwide. Merry Christmas has sold over 15 million copies and is the second best-selling Christmas album of all time behind Elvis's Christmas album, which sold more than 19 million worldwide. The LP's original 1945 release and subsequent re-release and repackages spent a total of 39 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Pop Album charts. The original album consisted of 10 songs on 578 RPM records, all of which had been previously released. Each one had a holiday theme, except for Danny Boy, paired with I'll Be Home for Christmas on the original record. The LP also included the holiday classics Silent Night, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Jingle Bells, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. 1951, Mario Lanza sings Christmas songs. The Italian tenor had the best-selling holiday album of that year. Released on the RCA Victor Red Seal label, the album featured traditional favorites like The First Noel, O Come All Ye Faithful, Away in the Manger, and Silent Night. Lanza would go on to release another popular Christmas album in 1959. Mario Lanza sings Christmas carols. 1952, Christmas Hymns and Carols by the Robert Shaw Choral. Considered their definitive recording, Christmas Hymns and Carols had several incarnations, first appearing in the 1940s as a box of 4 RPM discs. The best-selling Christmas album in 1952, it also went to number 5 on the charts in 49 and 1957, and then hit the charts 3 times in the 60s. With its seamless melodies and majestic harmonies, it is to this day the gold standard of choral Christmas recordings. The album featured such traditional hymns and carols as O Come All Ye Faithful, Silent Night, Joy to the World, Deck the Halls, Lo, How a Rose Ere Blooming, and I Wonder as I Wander. 1953, Christmas with Arthur Godfrey and All the Little Godfreys by Arthur Godfrey. It was the last cast LP of radio and television broadcast entertainer Arthur Godfrey's 1950s CBS TV show, which featured a small group of regular performers that became known as the Little Godfreys. Although relatively obscure, these actors were given colossal national exposure and included former Talent Scouts winner, such as Hawaiian vocalist Tali Loki, veteran Irish tenor Frank Parker, Marion Marlowe, and Julius La Rosa. The best-selling Christmas album of 1953 included traditional hymns and carols, such as It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, The First Noel, O Holy Night, and holiday favorites like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Jingle Bells, and the Hawaiian-themed Christmas song, Mele Kalikimaka. 1954, selections from Irving Berlin's White Christmas by Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, and Peggy Lee. From the 1954 movie White Christmas, the album also featured Rosemary Clooney and Trudy Stevens, who dubbed for Vera Ellen in the movie. And we should point out Peggy Lee was not in the actual movie. The album was issued with Columbia's Irving Berlin's White Christmas. It was also one of the last 78 RPM albums from Decca Records. Because Crosby had a recording contract with Decca Records, and Clooney was signed to Columbia Records and contractually could not record together, an original soundtrack recording from the movie has never been released. On the album, Lee recorded the parts that Clooney sang in the movie. The album was Crosby's third Decca LP, recorded and released in 1954 and advertised as the soundtrack to White Christmas. 1955, Happy Holiday by Joe Stafford. Happy Holiday was the best-selling Christmas album of that year. On the LP, Stafford is accompanied by her husband and pianist, arranger, composer, and conductor, Paul Weston, and his orchestra. The entire family participated in the creation of the album. Stafford and Weston's young son, Tim, is the small boy featured on the cover. Stafford is also joined by the Starlighters on background vocals, just as she was after her version of the NBC radio musical variety program, the Chesterfield Supper Club, and the LP features such favorites as The Christmas Song, Let It Snow, Toyland, Winter Wonderland, and O Little Town of Bethlehem. 1956, Merry Christmas from Lawrence Welk and his Champagne Music. It was the best-selling Christmas album of 1956. The band leader and television impresario brings his unique style, which came to be known as champagne music, to the holiday season, with vocal performances by the Sparklers on White Christmas and Christmas Island, the Lennon Sisters on The Christmas Toy, and the LP featured many other favorites like Let It Snow, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and Winter Wonderland. 1957, Elvis's Christmas album. It was actually his third studio album and his first Christmas, released on October 15, 1957. The LP spent 4 weeks at the #1 spot on the Billboard Top Pop Albums chart and was the first of 2 Christmas-themed albums Presley would record, the other being Elvis Sings The Wonderful World of Christmas, released in 1971. Elvis's Christmas album is the first Presley title to attain diamond certification from the RIAA and is also the best-selling Christmas album of all time in the U.S., with a total sales of over 20 million copies worldwide. It remains the world's best-selling Christmas LP and one of the best-selling albums of all time. It was divided into a program of secular Christmas songs on side 1, which included favorites like Here Comes Santa Claus, Blue Christmas, and on side 2, the traditional Christmas carols, O Little Town of Bethlehem, and Silent Night, and 4 gospel numbers from Elvis's 1957 EP, Peace in the Valley, which were added to the album 6 months after its release. 1958-1960 Christmas Singalong with Mitch by Mitch Miller and his gang. As a best-selling recording artist with the NBC television series Singalong with Mitch, oboist, choral leader, and conductor Mitch Miller released his holiday LP, and it became the best-selling Christmas album for 3 consecutive years, 1958 to 1960. The timeless family tree trimming music features primarily religious holiday favorites like Joy to the World, What Child Is This?, We Three Kings of Orient, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. The album also featured a rousing version of the traditional Christmas carol, Deck the Halls. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. And buy a t-shirt, help support our channel, link in the description of this video.